They can start paying, and they can.
But now we're getting pretty deep into the talking points here.
No,
what
we're
you're
not
doing
getting
is
deep.
people
No,
who
we're
came
not getting
here,
deep.
people who came over our border without permission are not being punished. They are instead being rewarded. And so you
they're not. Let me answer to that.
a very different standard to
true.
Ukraine. I'm wondering if Russians fleeing Putin, do you believe should be allowed to start new and better lives in Ukraine? And I bet you'd say no, because you believe in Ukrainian nationalism, but not American.
I want to be rigorous. I'm talking about those people who have lived here for more than 5 years, that have not committed a crime, that have American children, and who are contributing to our economy. I want to give them something called dignity and then redemption. I'm not talking about path to citizenship. I'm not talking about amnesty. I'm talking about I'm not. And I don't want you to misrepresent what we did, and we worked for 1 whole year so we can solve. Just because this
then let me ask you.
You don't agree.
Our viewers can read the bill. Let me ask you a simple question. You're for sending MiGs to Ukraine.
The fact that you don't agree with me doesn't mean that you have to misrepresent what's on the bill.
There's a battle back and forth Tucker was having with Florida Representative Maria Salazar. And the issue was a bill that she was co-sponsoring that would grant undocumented folks amnesty, or at least some sort of a pathway. And that is strike number 1. Just in that exchange yesterday, I want you guys to realize a couple of things there. As she had a few seconds to make her point, she did point out the dignity. We want to give folks the dignity. That's when he was triggered. That was one of the first points of dignity, because we see how he sees other folks, specifically these particular immigrants. And also, he said our viewers can read the bill. It goes back to them wanting to tell his viewers what to think. They can read the bill. Are they going to read the bill? Did you tell them to go read the bill, or are you just going to assume they should read the bill because you don't want her to explain what's in it? That's really what's happening here. So anyway, let's go to some of the details of what it was that was happening in this Dignity Act that Salazar was a part of trying to put for 13 million people. So the Salazar bill would allow undocumented immigrants who have lived in the United States for more than 5 years to stay and work here without the threat of deportation. It also offers them a path to citizenship, but it's a very long one. They couldn't apply for permanent residency and a green card, which is required before seeking citizenship for at least 15 years. This is what Tucker's mad about that she's putting in there. 15 years. So what could the process be? Because we see how conservatives always complain about we need to do something about our immigration policy, and what the immigration policy would like to do with is just complete and utter violence and pushback. So here they are butting heads further. They continued this argument for a while. Watch this part.
Well, look, I think you've said it yourself that people who came here illegally, tens of millions of them, would be allowed to stay. They would not be punished, they would be rewarded. Now, you think that's enhancing their dignity? By the way, I'm not against those people. I just can't help notice the contrast that our borders are porous, they're not defended, they are open. Should we send the US military to the Mexican border?
That is what I have created a whole plan so we can really seal the border. Because you know what? My community, the one that I represent, let me finish. Let me finish.
America,
the one that I represent.
Okay.
Listen, let me finish. Give me 15 seconds.
I shall.
Thank you. I have created a series of measures so we can secure the border. If we deport those 11 or 13 million, we may not have food by Friday. Okay. Why? Because the food supply chain.
Okay, then would you support the US military securing the United States border tonight, or on the same timetable as sending MiGs to Ukraine? How about that?
That's hypothetical again.
No, it's a very straightforward question. What are you talking? You're a lawmaker.
No, it's not
hypothetical. What do you mean? Just say it. You're not for it, and you're for it in Ukraine, but not here.
I don't know her stance on whether or not she wants to send American forces to Ukraine to defend their borders. But I mean, Tucker will definitely allow his audience to think so. So again, the battle then comes: should we send troops to our border because there's this invasion of folks that are looking primarily for a better life, some kind of work, some way to survive? That's the same as Russian troops invading Ukraine, according to Tucker Carlson and according to his audience, because they'll listen to that garbage. Now, also, by the way, they didn't even find any common ground when she did point out who she does represent and the district she represents, which usually is a softening point for conservatives. Let's watch this part.
To say that we're supposed to be representing the American people. I represent district number 27, where you have millions of Cuban Americans, and I'm representing what we think. We know that we acquired peace through strength. Look at what happened in 1960. Fidel Castro and JFK.
Stop. I'm sorry.
JFK
I can't. I'm not gonna take the anti-communist lecture from anybody because, of course, I agree with you.
No.
And by the way,
I'm just
I
saying
hope that you're not speaking for quote Cuban Americans, but for all Americans, because it's not a racial question.
No, not a racial question at all. And also, hey, you can't flip the Cuban thing on me. This is what we do to everyone else. He can tell when the argument's gonna start looking bad for him. That's when he interrupts, and that's when he does the weird cackling laugh. All these tactics are to continue to keep people thinking that he knows what he's talking about, and that also he's not convincing them of things that are untrue.